So I was punched this morning walking in the loop to my office. Never thought I would be one to make a video like this. Chicago commuters that work in the loop, please be so incredibly careful when you're standing in a crosswalk, because that's how I got punched in the face. So this morning on Welch Street at like 8:15 with tons of other commuters nearby, some random man who was walking perpendicular from me came behind me, walking this way, came around my right shoulder and actually like swung up and over my shoulder into my jaw, kind of pushing downwards. When he punched me, my glasses fell off, and I have extremely low vision. For those of you that do have low vision, you get how vulnerable you feel without your glasses, and especially right after getting punched. He was wearing all black with this gray raincoat, and he had his hood on, and he took his hood off, and he looked at me, and I saw that man's bald head. Didn't want to take my phone.
First of all, let me just speak up for all of the bald-headed men that I was not in Chicago, and we are not people that typically like to assault women and punch them in downtown areas or the Chicago Loop. Why won't these people say exactly what the race is? It would be much easier to find who they are if they profiled accordingly, but I guess they're trying to stick to the whole diversity, equity, and inclusion and make sure that they're not inappropriately profiling people. I don't know what that is.
Phone, didn't want to take my work computer, didn't want to take my bag, my wallet, nothing. He just wanted to hit me, so.
Y'all just punching people just for the sake of punching people?
But the reason why I'm making this video is after talking to police, it really does seem like this is becoming a repeat offense. Maybe not the same guy, but there's definitely an uptick in these simple battery cases. They're getting a lot of reports of people who are just getting hit. At least what I heard from them, it sounded like they were all women or majority women. When you're walking, when you're in motion, like nobody's gonna come up and hit you. But when you're standing there at the crosswalk, I should have been looking around like that, and I was looking ahead at the intersection, but I didn't know that this guy came up behind me. It could have obviously been a lot worse, but like it does really hurt, and I was shaking for like 2.5 hours.
Nobody deserves to get hands put on them for going to work. Nobody deserves to be in an environment that's not absolutely safe. And the Chicago politicians are monetizing crime, and they're leveraging that in order to try to get $800+ million out of the federal government, like they've been doing. Instead of managing their budget effectively, they have this pandemic era type of accounting. And so now women are getting punched out of their socks and out of their shoes in the Chicago Loop, whether they going to work or they just hanging out with their friends. And so now you guys have to be situationally aware, and y'all should be holding y'all politicians and y'all police accountable, because they are the ones that are saying that they don't need the Trump administration to come in and clean up the streets. And so because Trump is for all people, regardless of whether or not you voted for him or not, he is doing the right thing. And we need to set new standards and cultural norms. And politicians need to learn how to manage their budget effectively and focus on public safety without begging for money from the federal government. Just my opinion, anyways.
Chicago. Y'all really outdid yourself. I'm convinced now that the National Guard really is going to be here. It was either the mayor or the governor confirmed that, per the information that they received, that the National Guard should be here by Friday. Y'all do too much. Y'all do too much. Like, the senseless gun violence is absolutely mind-boggling, but these things must occur because we are living in the last days. And you could talk to you blue in the face like I'm doing. You can be outside protesting like others are doing, and it still must happen because the Bible prophecies cannot be stopped. But let me touch on this though. It was so sad to see those older women on 47th who got hit in crossfire or were targeted, don't know. The elderly women on the ground, who got shot. Like, what's going on? The 2 women in the gardens that just lost their lives a day apart due to gun violence. Yeah, absolutely insane. 36th and Ellis, mass shooting. Mellow Bucks party, mass shooting. 39 picnic, mass. What's going on? Y'all don't have nothing else to do with your life? You don't see nothing else to do with your life? Like, it's unreal. And thanks to y'all, you finna mess it up. You've messed it up for everybody. See, when they come out here, because they came out here in the 60s before, and they was bothering regular citizens, people that's mad in their business. See, when they come out here, it's gonna be different from DC. They coming out here to have a funky good old time because Chicago has this reputation and is a known city that's stricken with violence. So they coming out here to have a funky good old time. Just know that. You not no sniper. You don't have the tactical training that they have. You have none of that. I don't care if you think you the biggest YN in Iraq. You can't hold a candle to them people, really. And they could legally put you down. So, and then there's so many egos out here. I really don't see this being a good thing at all. And like I say, it's gonna go completely different from what it is in DC. That's light work. They coming out here on straight business dealing with y'all, for real. And yeah, just messed it up for everybody. Like, it's unreal. But y'all be safe though.
They didn't mess it up for everybody. They made it good for everybody. So now everybody can enjoy Chicago the way that they used to, right? When you got the Magnificent Mile and they break it into the Rolex store and you got women. I mean, everything that she said and everything that she documented was basically women under attack, and women, the ones that are suffering, and women are the ones that's getting killed, and women under duress, and women absolutely getting their shit rocked out. And so now we have a situation where it's an emergency call in Chicago, and the YNs, they acting like they tough. Oh, you tough. You so tough that you about to go against the United States National Guard and the President of the United States of America, who takes on cartels, and they are administering humanitarian aid in places, and some of the hardest, toughest places in the world. You got it. Listen, this is going to be such a good experience for me personally, reporting on it here on the Anton Daniels channel. And I'm looking forward to it. I want to see how tough y'all are. I can't wait for them to lock y'all up. It's about time. We ain't never truly had the safe cities that we deserve here in the United States of America in these urban cores. But I suspect that Trump, being the awesome president that he is going to ensure that we go ahead and get some safety and some act right inside of these places.
You need to pack it up and get out like right now. This is not a drill. You need to go. I was actually supposed to be on a plane to Chicago right this minute and canceled my trip for various reasons, mainly being, let's call it, Sixth Sense. But for my insomniacs, it'll be later tonight. For my non-insomniacs, it'll be 2 a.m. on the 6th. Armed troops are rolling in to Chicago. Now, the mayor signed an order this morning saying that he doesn't want local authorities to be intermingling with the military. And there's a little bit of a duality there. One of those reasons being the troops cannot mess with civilians. They can't get involved in ICE procedures, right? But if something happens and local authorities step in, and the situation boils over and one of your armed troops that are in your town are affected, they can absolutely use their pew 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 on you. Now, this doesn't have anything to do with being legal, illegal, citizen, naturalized. This has everything to do with because they're not going to check until it's too late. So unless you want your 6-month-old baby to be ripped out of your arms, or have your grandmother separated from you or taken from your home and sent to Uganda without you, you need to pack it up and go, like right now. This isn't like DC. This is not going to be like DC. 2 a.m, or as soon as I get set up, so very shortly after.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good old time. And it's about time that we had some act right and some fixing inside of the United States of America. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Always like to leave links back to the content creators in order to give credit where credit is due. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. It's going to be fun, and I'm going to be covering it all this upcoming week. It's time.